welcome to another episode of Finding Joy in Your Vestibular Migraine Journey. And today I'm so excited to talk with Joy about how her holiday decorating is going, because it can be very difficult decorating even when you don't have a vestibular disorder. But we're going to talk about that, and we are going to talk about some decorating tips. We're going to talk about holiday prepping, so gift wrapping, writing our Christmas cards, holiday shopping, holiday meal prep, also some holiday activities like going to see lights or attending a holiday gathering. And finally, then, how we explain to our families the different modifications that we need to make because we have our vestibular disorder for the holidays. So we're just gonna jump right into it. So Joy, you want to talk to us about how your decorating is going this year?
Yes, I'm so excited to talk about decorating. I love decorating. The holiday season, it's just fun, festive. But as you know, some years can be good, some years can be bad. Last year was very difficult. So this year I am excited that I'm able to do more. One of the things I learned going through this journey with holiday decorating is give yourself grace, take your time. You don't have to go overboard. You don't have to meet anybody's expectations. And as far as decorating, last year I asked for help. Luckily, the kids were able to put up the tree, the decorations, and I helped with what I could. Some years you may have to do a simple tree. I know a lot of the stores now, they sell the 3-foot pre-lit tree. So that can be a challenge, decorating a full, 6-foot, 9-foot tree. And
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And I've just learned to scale back if needed. How have you found decorating this year? Have you found any tricks to kind of help you?
Yeah, I mean, like some years have been a little easier, but I remember in past years, like you said, just putting the ornaments on the tree was hard because you're looking down and then you're trying to put it on the tree, and it's actually kind of overwhelming, when all those bins come out and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to put all this out. And this year, I'm still getting over a nasty virus. So we usually decorate right after Thanksgiving, and I was like, oh, just looking at those bins, like, I don't think that's gonna happen today.
Yeah.
But just like you, just kind of doing it a little bit each day or a little at a time, I used to be so like, okay, let me just do everything in one day and get it all up, and be done with it. And now, I'm like, it's okay. I'll just take a little more time to do it, and it gets done. So
yeah, it's okay. And you only need to decorate maybe the areas that you go into. You don't need to do the whole house, right. Take it slow. Have a decorating party with the kids or maybe some family members or friends. It's surprising. People are so willing to help if, you just say, hey, this year I need a little help decorating. And most people love decorating and will run over to help you. So yeah, I have found asking others for help, scaling back, and keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, which brings us to the next topic is shopping and wrapping presents.
Another overwhelming topic. Yes. How have you been doing with that? with shop? Like, I know you do a lot of online.
Online, yes, I did so much online shopping last year. I memorized the credit card number. That's how much online shopping I did. Uh,
Yes.
you know, again, scale back, keep it simple. Um, you don't have to buy everybody everything. I did a lot of online shopping with some of the online, or excuse me, out of town relatives. We just called and said, okay, either we'll just buy each other's kids' presents and put it from one another, or, we'll do gift cards this year. The
Yeah.
great thing about technology, you can do a virtual gift card. Um,
Oh, yes.
you know, so that has made it easy. I did go into a store once so far this season. I did okay. I did have some symptoms. I will challenge myself to do another store,
Yes.
but just keeping it simple and not having that guilt of, oh, I have to buy everybody a present. And you don't have to put that stress on yourself. How have you found
Absolutely.
it going into stores this year? How
Mhm.
has that been for you?
Yes. So I think I posted about it the other day. You'll always find me with my baseball hat on. I have my anti-blue light glasses in case and, rescue meds. I try to go at the off-peak times, where it's not
Yes.
going to be crowded. And I have my list. I write down, exactly what I'm going in there for. And, so I'm not wandering aimlessly through the store trying to find something. So just sticking to my list. And, if I have to take a minute and, just take a breather, that's fine.
Take a
But
breather.
like you, I'm going to do some gift cards to not,
Mhm.
like I love to pick out gifts for people, but this time they might not all be more personalized. Some people will be getting the gift cards. So, and that's okay.
That's okay. It's the thought that counts. It really is.
Mhm.
Um, and I always, if I do need to go into store, I make sure I eat before, takes
Yes.
a small bottle of water with you. You're kind of
Oh, yes, the
prepared.
water, of course. Hmm.
Yeah, just be prepared. And I like your idea of having a small list. You don't overwhelm yourself.
Hmm.
And then what do you do when you bring the presents home? Wrapping.
Right. Right. I haven't done that yet. They're, the presents are here, but
Mhm.
they haven't been wrapped yet.
Yeah.
Um, in recent years, I love to just sit on the floor and put on a Christmas movie or something and start rapping,
Yeah.
and that's a little harder, of course. So I have found kind of, you know, maybe not sitting on the floor because you're looking down more, but trying to
Yes.
be more table level, even standing. So it's just more level.
Yeah.
Even using my kitchen island and standing and yeah, just trying to wrap a little at a time. And, again, if you need to take a break, that's fine. Or, like you said, get the kids involved. Maybe
Yeah.
ask them to like help wrap some of, the
Yes.
relatives' gifts or whatever.
Yeah. Last year, I had my daughter wrap her own gifts. They were in boxes, so she couldn't see what they were, but I needed help wrapping. Last year I couldn't. This year, exactly what you said is I'm wrapping them on a table, so it's higher up. And I'm
Hmm.
trying to wrap the gifts as they come in. So I'm not
That's a
caught
good idea.
a few days before wrapping 10,
Doing it
20
all at once.
presents.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's a
Yeah.
very good idea.
Yeah. And asking for help. Another great idea I was researching is, you can put the gifts in a gift bag so you don't have to wrap it, if it's
Yes,
small enough.
I've done that
Yeah.
in past years. Yeah, so much easier.
Right. Just put it in a gift bag. People don't, I don't think they really care what it's wrapped in,
No.
is the bow perfect? They appreciate the gift from you. They
Hmm.
appreciate the thought.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
Yeah. So definitely take it easy on the wrapping because even pre-vestibular wrapping can be an overwhelming chore.
Yes,
Mhm.
definitely. And
Yes.
how were you, like, do you send out Christmas cards? I know like some people don't send them out as much anymore, but um, like how were you if you would have to send out a Christmas card or even just writing, some for your family? How was that?
Yes, I still like to send out Christmas cards. It was difficult last year. Um, I just took it very slow and just sent them to the immediate family. It was difficult. This year I'm excited to do it. Some years what we've done is we've just snapped a few pictures of the kids, and you can do that just in your home against a
Hmm.
tree and then
Yes,
just upload
we've
them
done
to
that.
one of the online photoshops and just print out some holiday cards. That's another way to do it. How have you been with the cards?
Yeah, that's hard because we usually do send out quite a few because of Jonah's work and things. So I, would have to definitely just do a few at a time. Because for me it was again the looking down, trying to write, and looking
Mhm.
at the address and then looking back at your what you're writing, so your head movement
Yes.
going back and forth and the looking down. So yeah, that was really hard. So, and I know one year, yeah, I did. I just sent to who like our close immediate family because that's what I could do that year.
Yeah. And I keep meaning to put all of the addresses in the computer and upload them to where you could just print out labels. Maybe that's something I'll work on this year. So that way you can just have it printed out. You're not having to
Yes,
write so much on the envelopes because the same thing, looking from the address book to the envelope to writing, that really does
it's
provoke
a
our
lot.
vestibular symptoms. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of provoking vestibular symptoms, cooking. I know the kitchen is just, that will
Yes.
just make your head spin. What are you guys planning for Christmas dinner this year? Are you cooking? Are you ordering?
Yeah, definitely not cooking. I kind of did a little more of that at Thanksgiving, and that was kind of enough. Um, so we will be carrying out from somewhere. And then, um, yeah, I think I'm going to ask people to bring something, and I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it.
Yeah,
This time I'm not. I'm just gonna keep it casual. We're not having that many people come by, so keeping it casual. How about
casual.
you?
Yeah, so we have ordered the pre-cooked meal from our local grocery store. So my husband will just pick that up. We'll just reheat it in the oven. We did that for Thanksgiving. It tasted wonderful. Everybody loved it. Last year, my husband and my daughter, they cooked. I couldn't help at all. And so, they just cooked the meal and it was fine. Again, you don't have to have the feast.
Hmm.
You know, um, I was reading online for some tips before we recorded today, and I see a lot of people just maybe even bypass the Christmas dinner and maybe they do a lasagna or some other type of meal that's not so intense.
Yes,
You
I'm
have
all for that.
to do what's right for you. Yeah.
Mm,
What works
yes.
for you. And so you said you're having guests this year. We're not having any family members. Everyone lives out of town. And so
Hmm.
we're just not having any guests. But I know some years we have had guests or went to other people's house. How is it, just kind of explaining to family members that, hey, I might have a flare up, I may have to go take a rest for a few moments. Have you had that happen before? how is it, just kind of explaining to family members that, hey, I might have a flare up, I may have to go take a rest for a few moments. Have you had that
Mhm.
happen before?
Yeah. There was a Thanksgiving a couple years ago when I
Mhm.
was really bad, and I wasn't even going to go to my parents' house for Thanksgiving because I wasn't at that time leaving the house, and I pretty much knew it wasn't going to be good, but they live
Mhm.
close, so I was like, okay, I'll try it. And, we didn't even have a lot of people there, but it was too overwhelming for my brain. And I ended up spending the time in my parents' bedroom, and they brought in a little tray for me where I could eat in there by myself. And people would just come and kind of say hello because it was too much to sit at the table with everyone,
Yeah.
too much movement and all the talking. And my brain just couldn't handle it at that time. Um, so I think, my immediate family understood. Um, I think it's hard, sometimes you have to say, I may need a minute. I may need to go, you know, lie down for a
Yeah.
minute or, might need you to help with this so I can just take a minute. It's hard because luckily it's my immediate family that's coming, so they're, aware of my situation, but I can see how it can get a little challenging if there's more people that aren't as familiar with your condition.
Right.
Yeah. And that makes me kind of want to avoid those situations almost, like a social gathering. That would make me a little nervous. I would definitely have to make sure I had kind of an exit plan and, all that. How
Right.
about you? How do you
Yeah.
handle that?
Exactly. Even before, I knew I was dealing with vestibular migraines, I remember some of the company holiday parties, and it was a little too much overstimulation. And so I would just leave early, I wouldn't drink. Um, you know, at the time, I was just driving myself. So of course I
Mhm.
didn't drink, but I just had an exit strategy, I'm gonna eat, enjoy the after show, whatever was at the holiday event, and then I'm going to go home early, and that's okay. So even then, I had set boundaries. I do also remember one of the holidays. It was when I first started having the symptoms back in 2018, and I had had a surgery as well. And, I explained it all to my sister-in-law, and she had been kind of checking in on me. And so we
Mhm.
went, and I was able to eat. I kind of sat in the living room
Mhm.
and, you know, started feeling the dizzy feeling. And, we just left, and it was fine. And she wasn't offended. And I think if you're just open and honest with your guests, they'll be fine. And if they're
Mhm.
not, you know what? You have to make sure that you're going to be okay. You know,
Yes.
one day of overstimulation for us could mean 2 or more, 3, 4 days recuperating. So,
Recover. Yeah.
yeah, listen to your body, listen to rest. And I know one thing we've talked about too, Marissa, is before the holiday, give yourself a few rest days before the event.
Yes. I'm gonna be doing
Yes,
that.
me too. Me too. Just rest up and um, you know, do the little things. So one thing I wasn't able to do last year that I actually was able to do last night is look at holiday lights.
Yay. I know you were so excited about that.
Yes. That's
That's
a big
awesome.
trigger. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. My family last year, I kept saying, well, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. And my husband and the kids, they were ready to go one night. I just, I just couldn't do it. And I said, you know what? It's fine. Go without me. I can look at lights on the computer. I can look out my window and see some lights. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay. I was missing out, but I didn't really feel too bad that I missed out. And I know I went last night. The kids and I drove
Mm-hmm.
around. Wasn't too late at night, but I was able to drive around just in the neighborhood. Now, I know you said that the lights do affect you, the blinking lights.
Yes.
Um, what are some of the things people could do? Maybe could they go earlier in the day? How does it, if you go earlier while it's still light, just to look at some of the Christmas decorations, is
Yeah,
that
that's better.
okay? Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
I know even I told you just being a passenger though, and if I'm
Mhm.
turning my head the certain way to look out the window, I will get kind of motion sickness. But
Yeah.
if I'm more walking in the neighborhood, maybe just
Oh,
looking at the decorations, that would be better.
that would be
Um,
better.
yeah, I'm so excited that you were able to do that last night, that you were able to drive in the dark at night and
Yes.
look at the Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was great. And again, it was just in the neighborhood. It wasn't like years before. Usually we'd go to, Starbucks or the local coffee shop, get some hot chocolate and drive around. But last night it was just in the neighborhood and I was fine with it. I was happy.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's great.
yeah, I know
Yeah.
it is a trigger for a lot of people. And even in the support groups that we go to, so many people say the blinking lights, they just can't do it. And if you
Yeah.
just can't do it, that is fine.
Yes, the blinking. And I
Mhm.
find also some of the new lights, they're all the LED lights.
Yes.
They're so much brighter, I feel. Luckily our tree, it has the older lights, so they're not LEDs. Because I
Okay.
think that would bother me. So, that's some of the lights outside that aren't as bright, those are okay. But if
Okay.
they're flashing or if they're super bright, that's hard for me.
Yeah. And that's what I was reading online too for tips for people for outdoor decorating. A lot of the suggestions were um, exactly, don't use the LEDs, maybe use lights that aren't blinking.
Mhm.
I know they have those grid lights, kind of those net lights that you can just maybe put on some bushes.
Yes.
Again,
Those are
you
nice.
don't have to overdo it. You don't have to be the brightest house on the street. Keep it simple. A few things can spruce up your outdoors and not provoke your vestibular symptoms too. So keep it
Yeah.
simple.
Yes. So true.
Yeah. What are you looking forward most to this holiday season?
I think just being able to take in each moment, with my family and not be having an awful vestibular flare up or,
Yeah.
just feeling awful on the couch, that I can just relax with them and just enjoy that time. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think that's just what I'm looking forward to. How about you?
Exactly the same. Just looking forward to spending time with family and friends in a relaxed environment. The ones that I'm not able to see, we can do a virtual call, we can do just a phone
Mhm.
call. My family will ask, "What do you want for Christmas?" And nowadays, I don't want anything but just to spend
No.
time with my family and friends. That is enough. That is more than enough for me.
I know that's all it is. That's all you need now.
Yeah, that's it. And I just hope that everyone out there, enjoys the holiday season. There are great tips online, simple Googles, and I was able to find plenty of information. And just, remember that decorating, it's not the only way to get in the spirit. Just spending time with your loved ones, whether it's a holiday or not, I feel like that's one of the greatest gifts we can have.
Yes.
Spending with a loved one, a friend. Our vestibular support groups are
Mhm.
amazing.
Yes.
So I
Thank you.
appreciate this time, and us getting together and just being friends has been one of the greatest gifts this
Yes,
year.
yes, it's been such a joy. You have been a joy.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for watching.
Thank
And we
you.
hope you find joy in your vestibular journey this holiday season.
Yes, keep the journey going, journey on.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.